Conservative MEP Daniel Hannan claimed the UK should seek a Brexit deal similar to the one Switzerland currently have with the European Union. Switzerland is a member of EFTA, European Free Trade Association, but is not a member of the EEA, European Economic Area. The Swiss model would allow the UK a high level of single market access but is dependent on numerous bilateral agreements. Speaking to Too Bad Too Late, Mr. Hannan, who played an influential role in the lead-up to the EU referendum, warned about the Brexit deal the UK could leave the EU with. The Norway model would mean the UK would have to pay into the EU to continue being a member of the single market and accept the bloc's 4 freedoms. Mr. Hannan said, Norway very importantly have their own trade deals. They had, for example, a trade deal with Canada long before the EU did. The EU one still hasn't been ratified. Getty Too Bad Too Late. Brexit news. Daniel Hannan claimed the UK could seek a Swiss Brexit model with the EU. They have got the huge advantage of being able to do their own trade deals, but I don't think Norway is the best model. Norway signed up to what was supposed to be a temporary arrangement for the automatic uploading of EU legislation, and 25 years on that is still incredibly in place, which is not a good place to be democratically. Switzerland is a better model. They're a country that are in the common market but pretty much outside of everything else. If Britain ends up with something along the lines of what the Swiss do, I think that would be a good outcome for all sides. Switzerland is a better model. Daniel Hannan. In order to access European Union markets, Switzerland has so far agreed with Brussels on 120 patchwork bilateral treaties, with which Brussels has long been uncomfortable as they don't change automatically in line with the Union's laws. The country currently pays into the EU budget and accepts free movement of people in return for market access, but doesn't want any intrusion by the ECJ. Professor Jens Holscher, Chair in Accounting, Finance and Economics at the University of Bournemouth, said Britain could expect to reach a similar agreement with Brussels to the one the bloc is discussing with Switzerland. Professor Holscher said, Switzerland is likely to become a model of what could happen between the UK and the EU. The EU has a strong preference towards having the European Court of Justice, ACJ, overseeing the talks and any future trade deal, but since the UK doesn't want that, they will have to find a different solution. Monday, February 5, 2018. Michel Barnier and David Davis head to Downing Street for lunch meeting to the EU. It is very important to trade with someone who has regulations similar to the European ones, so if Brussels can't have the ECJ overlooking agreements reached with the UK, it will opt for an independent court. The UK should be under no illusion that its relationship with the Union after Brexit will be entirely free from European regulations. The Prime Minister is hoping to move talks onto trade and wants to get a post-Brexit transition period signed off at the European Council summit of EU leaders on March 22 to 23, but tensions over the Irish border issue remain and could hold up an agreement. After Theresa May outlined the government's plans for the next phase of negotiations, President of the European Council Donald Tusk suggested the only option left for the UK was a Canada-style arrangement.